Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the By Name Beauty Podcast. This is where women of color and beauty dialogue meet. Today, I am joined by friend of the show, Jacqueline Carrington, and she is the founder of People of Color Beauty.
Yes.
Which is a vegan, cruelty-free, and non-toxic nail polish line.
Yes. And our slogan is nail polish for people of color and those who live in color. So that encompasses everyone, but our focus is our brown skin tones and complementing the various shades of brown skin tones as the first thought and not as an afterthought.
Amazing.
Yes.
So Jackie, who, like, that's her nickname, that's what everyone calls her, is an entrepreneurial boss mom. She is a wife, and she started this really cool nail polish line.
Yes.
So before we get into the show, let's do an icebreaker.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're on a deserted island, and you can only bring 5 beauty products. What do you bring, girl?
Okay, I need my hair products so my hair doesn't dry out.
Okay, so which one? Because there's only 5.
Okay.
Black girls got a lot of steps. So narrow it down.
Let me take my leave-in conditioner.
Okay.
Because I'm going to need my hair moisturized.
Okay.
I need some Vaseline for my lips.
Love it.
I need some Black Girl sunscreen for my skin.
I have that on today.
I need some body butter to stay moisturized.
Okay.
And I need my nail polish for a pop of color on the island.
Amazing.
That's it.
Amazing. So nothing else, no mascara, no nothing, no tweezers. That is if your hair is good,
Yep.
Your skin is protected,
Yep.
Your nails are polished,
my lips aren't ashy.
Number 1, you are ready to go.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
It's deserted anyway, so.
I know who's going to be there. Who's going to see your eyeshadow?
Yep.
No one.
The birds, they'll be happy.
I love it. Okay, so let's start off by telling the people a little bit more about you. So where are you from? How did you grow up? What does Jackie do and love?
So I'm from a lot of places, it seems, but I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I lived there until I was 5, and then I moved out here to Southern California. So we moved to Rancho Cucamonga, which is a real place, from Next Friday.
I was going to say, not just the place in Next Friday.
Right. But that's where people know it from. But yes, it is a real place, Rancho Cucamonga. Grew up there. Went to college in Las Vegas after finishing high school.
Did you party every weekend?
No, it kind of sucked because I was underage.
Oh, yeah, you weren't 21. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yep. So I just went to school.
Okay.
Went to work, came home for 4 years. After that, during that time, I met my boyfriend, who is now my husband. Mm-hmm. He's from New York City.
While you were in school.
Right.
Okay.
So every California girl wants to move to New York. Every New York person wants to come to California. Mm-hmm. Couldn't convince him to come to California after school. So we moved to New York for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Growing up in Cali, it was just, slow-paced lifestyle, kind of just more chill. New York was fun, but it was just like go all the time. And I'm like, I need peace and quiet. So we moved to Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's totally different.
Totally different, but was more calm.
Yes.
Wasn't California, but it was calm.
That weather wasn't California either.
No. So what brings me to 4 years later, I'm like, okay, we have our first kid now. Like, let's start to put down some roots somewhere. Mm-hmm. We need to get back here. So 3 years ago, moved back, and I've been here ever since now.
Very nice. Are you happy to be home?
I am. It's different now because I'm an adult.
Yes, you're not.
And I'm married and I have kids. So it's just like, this isn't as fun as I remember.
Right. Experiencing a city as an adult is totally different than growing up. Yeah.
It's not as fun, but I love it. It's home for me.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh, of course, is home. Mm-hmm. That's where all my family is.
So how does someone who studies hotel management end up starting a nail polish line?
So I've always been an entrepreneur since I was young. Always had a business idea, always selling something. And I didn't wear nail polish growing up. I played basketball. I just never wore it. I didn't need to.
This is interesting.
My mom, she wore it. But but because I played sports, I didn't really wear it. And although I liked the colors, I never really saw brown hands wearing different colors. So although it looked nice on the model, I could never envision it on me. So I'm just like, forget it. Just skip.
Nail polish wasn't your thing.
No, not at the time. I always wore my natural nails though, and I just wore like a top coat.
Okay.
That's really it. So fast forward to 3 years ago, my daughter, when we first moved back, she would always go to my mom's house and come back with her nails painted. And I didn't have any polish at home to keep up with her newfound interest in nail polish.
So it was grandma who introduced her to nail polish. Got it.
Yes. So I said, you know, she's a different tone of brown than I am. My mom's a different skin tone as well. I said, what if somebody made a nail polish line called People of Color to encompass all of these brown skin tones, not only within the Black community, but just all people of color. There's so many different brown skin tones around the world. And then it would also be for people who live in color, because we all are of color. We live in a world of color. So that's kind of where the name came from. And the story behind it was me kind of being reintroduced to it through my daughter, and then being inspired by her because she had this interest in it.
So she comes home, her nails are polished, and you think, what if somebody creates this nail polish line? From concept to creation, like walk us through it. How long did it take you? Like, did you think about it for a while? Because it's a huge task to create a nail polish is very different, say, from just buying shirts wholesale and now selling them on Instagram. Like, it's an entire process. So can you walk us a little bit through that?
Yes. So the idea came in March of 2019.
Okay.
My first collection launched in May. So it was 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, it was really quick.
Okay, that's a lesson for somebody, because I feel like a lot of people think that their dreams are way far off, or that it just takes so long, but really that's not the case.
Right. So, I mean, if you have an idea, I say just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, if you sit on it and you have to, of course you need to map out some type of plan, but just start. Like, that's all I did. I started looking for a manufacturer, someone to formulate it for me, someone who was going to make it non-toxic, vegan, cruelty-free was very important to me because of my daughter. You know, if she's 3 and interested in nail polish, I don't want her putting toxic nail polish on her whole life from age 3. So those things were important to me when I was looking for someone to formulate it. So found a formulator, found them locally, thankfully. I was able to be very involved in the process of them making it. I designed my own logo on Canva.
Oh, I love Canva.
Yes. And then from there, because I've had other businesses, I already knew, you know, let me get my social together. Let me get my website together. So while the polishes were being made, I was doing the other things in the background. So that way, when they were ready, I could just say, okay, here it is.
Ready to go.
Right.
So you had like your behind the scenes business on paper together while the actual formulating was happening.
Right. And promoting it too. So although I didn't have a product to say, you know, here's the polish, you know, posting nails, posting color inspirations of the colors that I had coming. Yeah. Telling the brand story. Why is it called People of Color? What's the inspiration behind the brand? Those things are important to, you know, present to the public. Yeah. To convince them to spend their money with you when you launch something. So.
Yes. So I have so many questions. I'm trying to keep myself from just bubbling over. Okay, one, People of Color do you consider a clean beauty brand? Because it is non-toxic and it's free of those top 10, which I can't even say them all.
I know.
Toxic ingredients. But there's a lot, I don't think people realize that there are a lot of ingredients that are linked to cancer and that are endocrine disrupting and that are just really bad for you. And the term clean beauty to my audience, it isn't really a regulated term. Like there's no, like the cosmetics industry and personal care industry in general isn't highly regulated. So the term clean beauty can be interpreted a few different ways. Right. But I think that we can all agree that clean beauty doesn't have toxic ingredients, which People of Color nail polish doesn't.
No.
Which is extremely important because we're putting on our nail beds, which is our skin, which is going to absorb
exactly
into our bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
So the term is thrown around, I believe. But, you know, for me personally, I have a high level of integrity and honesty with any business that I'm in. And so for me to say that our polish is non-toxic, it has to be non-toxic.
Right.
Especially with my supplier who manufactures and formulates for me. You know, I looked into them, make sure that they are actually doing the steps that they need to be to call themselves non-toxic, vegan, cruelty-free. Those things are important with research before you launch and you have an idea, because you can't say that it's one thing and then it happens to not be
another. Yeah.
So it's like you can't do that. So for me, it's just a level of integrity that I have to call it a clean, non-toxic nail polish, because I know for sure that it is. And it's welcome to be tested because it has to prove it.
Jackie said, check the receipts.
Yes.
That's basically what you're saying. Check the receipts. You can test it. It will come out true.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think that's really important to note, because there was a study that I read like actually a couple weeks ago, and I talked about it just very briefly on the last episode, which is like the health disparities between women of color, but specifically Black women, and our health in terms of like our cosmetics and what we use. So this essentially, there was a study that was published in the International Journal of Cancer or something that basically said that white women who use permanent hair dye have an increased risk of cancer by 7%, whereas Black women have an increased risk of cancer by like 45%. Like there was this huge jump. And we also know that women of color are disproportionately using cosmetics, meaning we use so much more, a lot more than our counterparts, because certain things don't work for us. We're always trying something new. Also the pressure to fit into a Western standard of beauty. Like there's all these different things that are causing us to use literally more of a number of products. And then on top of that, the ones that we are using are exposing us to so many more chemicals and toxins. So this brand is like right on par with what we need right now.
And like we spoke about a little off camera, with a lot of people wearing, you know, acrylic nails and all these different things. Yes, it's very nice. Yes, it's fun to do so many designs, but I feel that the nail industry for women of color is becoming like the hair community used to be, where, you know, we were perming our hair, we were, you know, doing all these things to it. And then we came to a realization that, well, one, we're embracing our hair. So that's where the natural community kind of reignited itself and kind of rebuilt a whole industry on just that. I believe the nail industry is doing the same. So yes, you have fun with all of the fun things that you can do with the nails, but your nail health and natural nail care is of most importance.
So important.
Because if you don't take care of your natural nail, you're not going to have anything to put an acrylic over.
Oh my God.
So,
and for me, so I used to wear acrylics heavy. I have them on now, but I don't really anymore. Like for me, it's like every now and then as a fun thing. When you take them off, your nails are so brittle. And I think the nail industry does have a long way to go into offering safer products for all people, number one.
Of course. Yeah. So, you know, for women of color who mostly, you know, go to salons, get their nails done, spend lots of money, you know, this is something that's kind of for us and by us in a sense. It's for everyone, but it's formulated for your skin tones, and that's what's important. You know, the branding behind it, you know, we show brown hands, we show various skin tones of the colors, and we really want people to see themselves in the brand and to see themselves celebrated, because, you know, the brand is for you. And it's by you, me.
You, us.
Yes, the brand is you, and you are
you should
you
see
are
yourself.
me. So exactly.
Right. I love that. And so for those of you who don't know, people of color is already making such a large splash. You've been featured in Essence.
Yes.
And you are just amassing this following online, and I really, really love to see it.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you started to market it? I mean, the product speaks for itself, obviously, but it's kind of hard, especially if we can talk frank, in the nail polish industry, where there are a few like household names that everyone knows and that are backed by huge corporations.
Right.
It's hard to put yourself out there. So for you to have the courage to do that and believe in your brand so much and to see it grow, that's pretty amazing.
Yes. I feel, of course, every company has their target market. Excuse me. My market isn't to be everywhere. You know, it's for a certain demographic, and for other people who love it, of course, buy it. You know, we buy everything. So if you like it, you buy it too. But, you know, my idea with marketing was show what I didn't see growing up. I didn't see brown skin tones wearing different nail polish colors. It just wasn't there. So now that I have the opportunity to do so, that's what I want to show in my brand. I don't want my daughter to grow up and be like, yeah, I just skipped, you know, nail polish and this and that because I don't see anyone that looks like me.
Or I didn't think that it looked good on me, or...
Exactly. It's like, build it yourself then.
Yeah, completely. And I like that you bring that up because, so for myself, I have my own, I guess, thoughts against colors for myself. Like, I would never wear, I might have shared this with you before.
I think so.
I would never wear red nail polish for two reasons. What? One, because red was considered, this is a G-rated podcast, but you know, red could be considered a whore color down south. It could be considered a ratchet color. So I didn't wear red because of that, and two, because I thought red didn't look good on brown skin. And a few months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get red nails. It was like a little bit before Christmas, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try it, and if I hate it, I'll change it before Christmas. Right. And when I put it on, I loved it. It was so nice.
Yes.
I really liked it.
You never know until you try. But when I came out with the brown colors, like, for example, this is Brown Sugar Babe.
I love that color.
I came out with a collection called In the Nude. It was 5 colors to represent all skin tones for people to really find a nude that match their skin tone.
Yes.
For brown skin, a lot of the colors that were out were always a pink leaning nude, which still look nice because most of the times we can rock colors, but it's like, I don't have pink undertones in my skin. Like, I'm brown. Like, where are the brown colors? So, you know, I came out with a shimmery brown. I came out with
Bronze Beauty.
Yes,
I have that one. Just for you all who don't know, I have that one in my collection.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Brown Sugar Babe. Just brown. And then closer to you is Mother of Earth, which is a deep dark brown. Like,
I love
chocolate.
that name too, Mother of Earth.
Yes. Pays homage to the first woman to birth civilization.
A beautiful deep brown.
Yes. And so, you know, I wanted people to be able to find those colors for them. I meet a lot of people when I do events where they're like, oh no, I can't do browns. Oh, that's gonna be too dark. And I pull out my swatch stick and I'm like, let me put it on. And they're like, oh,
this
I
looks
can
good.
do this. And I'm like, yes. Like, don't be afraid of the browns. They think because it's brown on brown that it may not look as, you know, nice because there's no contrast, but it actually contrasts very well. And so people are surprised when they try on those colors and they're like, oh, I can actually wear this. And I'm like, yes.
Isn't it crazy? Like these limits that we put on ourselves in our minds, and who knows where they came from, but just ridiculous things that aren't even true.
Right, exactly. So if you can experiment and try, do so, because you never know what's going to look good on you. That's what I learned.
Okay, so you talked a lot about the different colors. Can you tell us did you start with those nudes first, or kind of walk us through like what did you launch with, and then to what you offer now, because you have such a beautiful array of colors here.
Thank you. So when I first launched, I had 10 colors called SoCal Vibes. It was to pay homage to Southern California living. And 5 of those colors are no longer. They sold out, and plus the season changed.
Okay.
So 4 of the colors
Are they coming back?
Maybe. I'll have to see.
I was trying to get y'all an exclusive by name listeners, but okay. Maybe not. She's playing coy.
I know, I'm sorry. But the idea behind my color collections was not to have like 700 different shades. That was never my intent. My intent was to launch these collections for the season that they came out with. And then once they were gone, they were gone. And then I would continue to introduce new colors. Now, you know, I might have bestsellers or people, you know, colors that were people's favorites that I may make into its own collection. Like, okay, y'all like these ones, here they are. But that was kind of my idea behind the collections and not having just unlimited amounts of colors. But 4 of the colors I kept for the fall winter time. So those are Malibu Wine, which is like a shimmery wine color. Desert Night Sky, which is a shimmery kind of starry night color. Walk of Fame, which is closest to you.
This guy?
Yes. That was kind of inspired by the Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame.
Very nice.
Thank you. And then Rodeo Drive, which is the red. Right below.
This red that I would previously never wear, but now I'm going to have to start wearing it because it looks beautiful. It really does.
Thank you. Yes. So those colors carried over from my launch collection.
Okay.
And those were actually the 4 colors that were featured in Essence. So it was the October 2019 issue, page 46.
You remember the page?
Yes. It was my first time ever being in a magazine, so that's kind of engraved in my brain.
So you thought about, I just really want people to get this. You thought about it in March. You launched it in May, and then by
October
2019,
yes.
You were featured in Essence.
Yes.
Which is such an important publication.
It is. And I was so happy that they were receptive to my pitch because that's really what it was.
You pitched them.
Mm-hmm.
So
by email.
Okay.
By email.
But still.
But yes.
That's how things happen these days. You can't always see someone in person.
Exactly. So they loved the brand story. They asked me to send polishes. I did. And they're like, okay, you're in. And I was like, oh
my God, I did it.
Yes.
So I love how just like grassroots you are. Like you're sending people pitches. For those of you who don't know, Jackie is at every summit, every market, like wherever she can sell people of color polish, you are doing that.
Yes. I love it. I mean, that's how we met. And
yes,
if I'm not out there, I don't meet anybody.
Yeah.
It's hard to convince people to just buy online. I mean, you can see a color and say, yes, that looks great. But once you're meeting me, you're talking to me, you're learning more about the story, you get to see and try the colors in person, it just flies because, you know, you're able to interact. And being able to meet an owner of a brand
for sure
is like, it's super cool.
And I think that's why people are drawn to it because like I said, there are a ton of nail polishes out there, but to have one with such a beautiful story and that is, like I said, clean and free of toxins, like I would much rather spend my money to support a small business, to support someone who I know has morals and value and has certain standards, like ethical standards. That's what it's all about.
Right, exactly. So it's, you know, I started doing markets in September. It took me a while to have the courage because it's scary to go out. You know, it's like, oh yeah, people like your pictures online. You get a couple orders, but all right, let me go to the people and see if
where
they
I might
like
not
it.
know anyone and just set up shop and do it.
Exactly. So once I saw that people were like, oh yeah, girl, give me, you know, let me get this one. I'm like, all right, I do have something here because people in person want it. So that was the turning point for me.
That's amazing. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you shared this with me. You recently quit your job to do this full time.
Yes. October 29th, I think.
You are you are a risk taker and I love it.
I have to.
So, I mean, did you wake up one day, like, did you know it, like, in your heart for a while and you were, like, fighting it? Or did you just wake up one day like, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to tell my husband that I'm going to quit my job?
Kind of, yes. That's actually what
how
happened.
it happened?
I knew the course of my life, I knew I didn't want to work for anyone ever. So it was always in my
Goes back to
long-term
that
plan.
always been an entrepreneurial spirit.
Right. That I knew I was going to eventually work for myself. Doing what? I had no idea. But yes, one morning I woke up and I said, I do not want to go back.
I'd rather be doing this.
Yes. I said, it was just a quick plan, like, okay, I guess I got to sign up for more markets, like, because I need to be out in the street, like, selling this stuff. And my husband was like, okay.
Was he like, you're kind of crazy, but I love you anyway, and we're going to do this?
Right. Well, he didn't call me crazy because I've quit many jobs before. And he knows, how I am with my business. But yeah, he was encouraging, and it was still scary because I didn't have, you read these stories like, have 6 to 12 months money saved.
Yes.
Do this, do that,
Yes.
and the other. Like, pay down all your debt. Like,
right.
Nope. Like, my
That's not
last
what
check
happened.
is about how much money I am going to have until I start making money with polish. But it was something that I needed to do. Like, I was not happy. I was stressed out at work. Like, I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. So let me just do this.
And have you seen like even more growth since you've been putting so much time into it?
So that's another thing. So when I was working, I could afford a babysitter. Now I can't. So my kids are at home with me. So it's, dealing with them being basically a stay-at-home mom / business owner.
Yes.
Where my time is very jumbled, excuse me. So a lot of the time during the day, it's just with them, and I'm having to do a lot of things at night. So
wow.
If they were at the babysitter, could I do a lot more? Probably yes. But because they're not.
But you basically have 2 jobs.
Yeah. So I'm doing what I can in the smaller amount of time that I have.
Yes.
But, I'm trying to be very strategic about what I'm doing. So I believe that's helping me grow still at a good pace.
So you wake up in the morning. What's the first thing that you do? What's the life of an entrepreneurial boss mom?
My days are crazy.
They're never the same with the kids.
They're never the same. But I've made it a habit to not just get up and jump on my phone. So I try to, say a prayer, read a Bible verse.
Oh my God. Same.
First, and then scroll.
I feel like that changes your life. Can we just pause? That changes your life. When you don't wake up and scroll Instagram, and for some people it might be 5 minutes, some people it may be an hour. If you just recenter yourself and do something that makes you grateful in the morning and really get your mind ready for the day, then I feel like that's the secret to success.
It is. Yeah. You do need a moment to yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe right before you close your eyes, and the first thing you do when you wake up needs to be for yourself. So that's my 5 minutes
in the morning,
right before the kids wake up. The rest of the day really is them, playing, cleaning, learning, whatever. When I can sneak in, checking my email, responding, doing my post on Instagram, I'll do that. But at night when they go to bed is really when I have time to kind of hone in on my day.
Up? How do you? I have to be in bed by latest 10:30 or else
I know
I'm sleeping late the next day.
Yes, I can do a lot from my phone, so I don't need to be sitting at the computer.
Okay.
My youngest is 10 months, but she still breastfeeds at night. So when I'm laying with her is when I'll be on my phone.
Oh my gosh. Like
sending out emails, doing all this stuff. So I'm like, all right, they ain't going to read it tonight, but when they wake up in the morning,
they'll see it.
I should have, such and such replies. So that's how I kind of have to work my day is, kids first.
Yes.
But I still carve out that time to work this because otherwise I'm not going to have any revenue coming in.
That is like multitasking at its best. And you wouldn't be able to tell because you are posting on Instagram all the time.
Right.
You are on stories. You are engaged. You are doing everything.
I try my best. Yes, I have to be. It's just me. What I learned most as I meet more people doing events and stuff is the brand looks bigger than what it may be. So the brand image out in public looks like, whoa, this big
Don't say it's
operation.
bigger than what it is exactly what it is.
Well, yes.
If it looks big, that's because it is big.
Yes, it is. But then when you realize or you meet people and they're like, no, it's just me. It's like, oh, geez,
Oh my gosh.
It looked like it seems like you have, 50 people in the background.
Yeah.
But no, it's just them. So it's good that my brand portrays that.
It definitely does.
But it's just me.
This is a solo operation, a one-woman show.
For now.
For now, yes.
As it grows, definitely. But
so what's new for people of color beauty in 2020? Can you share anything?
Yes. So I will share in April. We'll have a new collection coming out. Ooh. It's 5 colors from me. And actually, I'm doing a collab with another Black-owned nail polish brand from Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
So she'll put in 5 colors. I'm doing 5 colors. And it's called For the Culture.
I love it.
So it's going to be colors and names that represent our culture. And it's a reminder to the world that our culture is basically the culture.
The culture.
So that's why it's called For the Culture, but it's to kind of pay homage to us.
I love it.
Yes. So that's something that's fun and exciting. It's going to be my first collab with another nail polish brand that I think is going to be very exciting. The people, I believe, are going to love it.
I think so too.
And then another thing that I recently launched is called Polish and Sip. So it allows people to host pretty much like a private nail polish party amongst friends.
Oh, okay. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So I supply the polish, you supply the drink, you set up your own event, and I will, get the polishes to you. But basically, you can make money hosting this event.
So, like, the women will come and they'll polish their own nails if they choose to.
Right.
It's like a paint and sip, but a polish and sip.
Exactly. So let's say you want to host your own polish and sip. You have your friends over.
Mm-hmm.
You charge X amount of dollars for your guests to attend your polish and sip. You provide, snacks and drinks. All I'm doing is shipping you the polish if you're not, local. So you just have your friends over. They get a top coat, a base coat, and one color of their choice as a part of what they're paying you, and you keep the difference.
Wow.
So it kind of is.
You are like a marketing guru. Are you sure you didn't study marketing at all?
Nope.
Because you're in essence polish and sip. I've literally never heard of anything like that, but that is a genius idea.
Thank you.
Because it allows you to be creative, and who doesn't like polishing their nails? Like, that's something we've been doing since we were little girls, and to do it with your friends.
Right. It's just very
maybe
casual.
Don't have too many drinks before you start polishing them.
Right. Right.
Maybe wait halfway through, or when you get to the top coat to really start taking them back. But that is such a great idea.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, I just think of different ways because I don't have a big marketing budget. I don't have hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars just to pay somebody to be like, here you go, tell a million people about my brand. This allows people to intimately discover my brand with their friends and family. It allows them to make money. And it allows them to just have a good time. Like, they're putting it together themselves, and it's how they want it to be. It's not me coming in saying, okay, do this, do this, do this.
Right. And imagine how big this could be for kids' parties. Little girls love, like, your daughter fell in love with nail polish.
Right. They could have nail polish and sips for, their birthday parties and sip on some juice.
On the side, you could be on someone's marketing team.
Did you hear that?
I'm just saying. I mean, I know she quit her job so she can do this full time, but that's a great idea. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, the things that come to me are just really out of necessity. Like, if I need revenues coming in, I'm going to be thinking about, okay, what can I do to generate revenue? If I need to get the product out to different people, it's like, okay, what creative things can I do? It's just me, so I can't be everywhere. If I have events, I have to be at an event.
Yes.
If I want the brand to get out there and I need people's help, then I need to be creative in how that gets out there.
It's amazing how creative you can be, especially when you don't have a job. So I'm sure you can attest to, like, there's a different level of, I don't want to say pressure, but like necessity. Like, I have now given up this. I need to make sure that I am doing all of these other things. So
exactly. Yeah.
You start getting creative and thinking of things that you would have never thought of.
Probably not. So yeah, it's good that I quit because I need it to.
Mm-hmm.
For my own mental sanity and to, I'm betting on myself. Like,
for sure. And
I have to.
You have to.
There's no better person to bet on.
No one. There's no one. Beyonce always says that if there's anybody she's willing to bet on, it is herself.
Exactly.
You have to believe in yourself.
Yep, exactly. I agree.
I love that.
Thank you.
So question. Mm-hmm. Your daughter pretty much inspired this line, and I'm just wondering how, because having children changes you. Mm-hmm. Did they change in any way how you viewed beauty or how you thought about it, or just like different things that you had thought about yourself or about beauty in general? Did that change after you had kids?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The short of it. Yes, because you're now having to teach someone else to feel and believe that they're beautiful. She's not out in the world yet. She's 4. But 4-year-olds are smart. Like, they see and understand.
They're so smart.
So having the task of having to teach someone that, your hair is perfect the way it is, your skin is beautiful the way it is. All of these things were kind of, new to me because I've already grown up and I've gone through that process. So at this point, I'm very comfortable in who I am and I don't need to teach myself those things. But now having to teach and instill it in someone else is what's important because they don't know what's coming in the world right now. But we've done that. So it's like, okay, let me start now. So she wears her hair outside in an afro. And, people all the time, girl, you're so nice. Oh, I love it. But I do that at home. So that way when people tell her that outside, it's like, I already know that.
Right. She knows it for herself. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that's kind of what changed was, not really having to worry about it because I'm comfortable to now having to teach
make sure it's like
else.
Front of mind for this new human being in the world.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And to know that she doesn't need anything to be beautiful. She already is.
That is so important, especially because we have so many conflicting images, especially on, it used to be magazines back in the day, but now it's Instagram, now it's Twitter, now it's Snapchat, now it's the amount of plastic surgery. And I am all about a woman choosing for herself. But as a child, I feel like there are so many different things that can be telling you that I'm not okay.
Right.
So it's even more important to make sure that she knows that for herself.
From the jump, exactly.
Right.
So I try to, let her watch things that show other children that look like her, like wearing their natural
Representation
hair.
matters, people.
And all of those things. So it's very important.
Yes. So what do you think, or what would you like for your legacy to be?
My legacy, I want to leave something for my grandchildren. So the Bible says that you should, make sure that your children's children are taken care of. So I feel like my mom and dad did that where, God forbid they're no longer here. We're okay because we can take care of our children with what they leave us. And so my goal is to not leave something for my children they're already taken care of. It's now to take care of that next generation. So that's what I want my legacy to be, is to instill the foundation in my children on this is how we keep it going for when they have their children. I believe is my
generational wealth.
Exactly. And for me, that's business and real estate. So if that's what I leave them,
yes,
the knowledge to do that, then I can sleep peacefully when I'm not here.
This is even a podcast about generational wealth, but that is just a gem. A gem. Everybody should be trying to leave something for not only their children, but their children's children.
Yes, I agree. So, thank you.
So, before we go, would you like to tell people where they can find People of Color Beauty?
Yes, of course. So, my social network is growing, but I have my website, which is peopleofcolorbeauty.com. And then on our website, we have our social links. So, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube actually just launched.
And you're in certain salons, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm in Queenie Nell's in Riverside, California, and then a few others on the East Coast. On our website, we have all of those links under our About section.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Jackie.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
This is so much fun.
Yes. I was nervous, but...
Look, we did it, y'all.
We did it. Yes.
And I wore my color today. I don't know if you noticed. I'm very much so a nude naturals kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm going to be sitting with People of Color Beauty. I need to wear some color.
Pop of color, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.